Welcome, Jimmy's, to Wednesday night wellness reset here on FrequenZeeTV. My name is Z, your high vibrational spicy brain overall wellness comfort creator and coach here, and on all the vibes. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day, and I'm so glad that you beamed up to heating frequency and good vibes, of course. This week we will reflect, or we have been reflecting and reconnecting and refining and rising through the past 4 weeks with added wellness, financial, and social emotional layers. And we've also been using dancing and mindfulness and movement to release stress and reset our energies. Okay, so welcome, guys, welcome. And tonight we're tapping into the frequency of resetting and regulating our bodies with flowing positive words to release tension, owning our energies, elevating compassion, and reclaiming boundaries through healing. We're also going to be moving, affirming with self-love, grounding, and reflecting. Okay, Jimmies? As always, we're going to use the tools and skills we practice, we tap into to help transmute and shift the energies that we've always had. So we're just going to be using and homing those energies that we build around with and use it to build into action internally and surround ourselves with those feelings so that we can recalibrate our bodies and how we show up for self, release and stress, release the stress as well and the woes, and elevate our self-confidence, our self-concept, our love, our truth, our manifestations, our affirmations, our blessings. And release what doesn't serve you, okay, any longer, whether it's from today, whether it's from last week, whatever it feels, Jimmy, just release it so that you can breathe lighter, rest a little bit more soundly, and surround yourself with more peace, okay? I mentioned before that hashtags are stress release, hashtag confidence, hashtag dance fitness, hashtag wellness journey, hashtag TikTok live, hashtag mind body strong, okay? Of course, here are some midweek mantras so that it can continue helping, just getting you across the week and making sure that you have those vibrations still high and vibing, okay? So I am enough even when I rest, okay? My love for myself teaches others how to treat me. So it's those boundaries, right, that we've been working on, that we've been setting on, that we've been grounding on. Again, I am enough even when I rest. I tell you guys, when your body has those signals, make sure you listen to it. And my love for myself teaches others how to treat me, right? And that just exerts itself the way freely from yourself, right? So you can find the mantras and more affirmations, of course, on the 369 journal that we use. It's on my showcase, along with the I Would, but My Damn Mind Won't Let Me by Jackie Letron. That's also the skill building book that we've been using as well within the last few weeks to help us along through this journey, right? And sit down and take a read. Make sure that you're journaling and doing those prompts and stuff. We go through the prompts at times, get down and buckle down to it so that you guys can help self-reflect a little bit deeper and much gentler, okay? All right, throughout the week, we've been doing prompts so that you guys can have those reflective times within self and just kind of basically have a check-in, right? So today's prompts, right, is what does unconditional self-love mean to you, okay? What does it mean to you individually? How do you set that in unconditional love for self? Have you ever even thought about that question? Those are questions and things that you want to set and reflect on. So what does unconditional self-love mean for me? That's how you would ask it, right? How would it mean for you? And where am I learning to say no with grace? Again, right? Space, grace, and pace. Where are you giving yourself grace? That's another way that you give yourself grace with those boundaries. You want to make sure that you're sitting and setting yourself and not giving yourself a closeness, right? And just dismissing yourself, right? You don't want to dismiss yourself. So where is it that you're learning to say no and you're doing it with grace? How are you doing it with grace? And giving that space and pace for yourself, right? So throughout the week, we've been working with financial literacy and wellness and how to come back into tune with having a positive outlook and relationship and kind of just energetic field with abundance, with money, or abundance in general, whether it's trying to get abundance in health and wealth and health and safety in whatever it is in the life that you want to do it, right? So as mentioned before, you should have set up your confident goal about money, about abundance. Again, whether it's reviewing your budget, whether it's raising prices in your store, whether it's seeking a way to put something, an extra income passively, whether it's abundance in other places like love, peace, kindness, all those things emotionally and energetically. And then for this week, as I mentioned before, every time you are about to go look at your goal, say these 3 affirmations. These are the 3 affirmations we've been sticking with. So again, I am in control of my financial destiny. Abundance is my natural state of being, and I achieve my goals by taking action. Okay, so and really sit with it, really feel it. Okay, choose one or cycle through them right through the week. You should have been doing that. And then when journaling throughout the day, you do the 3 in the morning, 6 in the afternoon, whatever afternoon is for you, and 9 in the evening. Okay, so how we do with the 369 journal, we're just kind of doing a soft version so that to kind of kick off for you and set that spark in motion for your kindness for yourself, right? So that you can move forward in whatever project and whatever self thing that you need to do for you. And before, in other lives, I have mentioned, social emotional comes into play when it comes to financial wellness and literacy. Sometimes you see a number and you're like, oh my goodness, that's the number I got to work with. How am I going to get out of that? Believe me, chimneys, I've done it 3 times and we've, the tools, and there's been different tools we've used throughout the many years and stuff. So I share these tools with you, and you guys are able to use that and continuously and flip out whichever one it fits for your picture. Okay, so social emotional care and financial literacy and wellness. An important thing to remember is setting and keeping boundaries, all right, is self-care even in financial wellness. Okay, so setting and keeping those boundaries in financial wellness is self-care. Okay, so creating a small focal discipline but not punishing yourself through it. And this is what I tell chimneys who take, financial literacy classes. They do the one-to-one with me or anything like that. And we sit down and we do all those things, right? So I tell them all the time, creating a small focal discipline but not punishing yourself through it sets boundaries, right? So knowing that you have a game plan and not allowing distractions to get in the way is keeping up with your boundaries. Saving, making sure to be realistic with the amount and then sticking to it, right? That's another boundary. And checking in on self through an example of it. It's a form of financial emotional wellness and self-care practice. Okay, so these are, again, self-care, boundaries, and learning how to self-care with that. Okay, I can't do that because I know that it's going to set me into a turmoil and I can't. So I got to set myself up with a discipline. But it's a gentle discipline. It's just checking yourself throughout those things so that you know that you don't get into those other emotions that get you all over the place and dysregulated within your nervous system, within your body, within your mind, body, soul. You don't want to end up getting all over the place. So you think of those times and you check yourself. Journaling how you feel after you do these things helps you to understand the key points and what you need in order for you to focus on, okay, when doing these things. And of course, leave a gratitude prompt, a love prompt. It will make you feel good because it'll help those emotions, kind of get energized and elated. All right, you can even write a small little love letter, like a little paragraph, an affirmation paragraph, to self, really giving those boost of feelings for that self-love, that confidence, and that you just looked over your finances and you know that the tools that you're using, they're going to work because you are putting the work for it. And if they don't work at that time, guess what? There are other tools that you can use and apply. That's why it's so good to make sure that you have different types of tools to apply and see what fits your big picture, right? Your picture, because everybody's picture is different. And take your time when doing these activities, okay? So give yourself time, be intentional with it. Remember space, grace, and pace. So you don't have to rush through these activities and you really understand what you need for self in these activities. And of course, reminders to give yourself is take mindful breaks, hydrate, make sure that you're taking time to listen to your body's needs and signals, okay? Take your time when doing poses. If you guys see that you can't do something, of course, I try my best to give you guys a modified version of it so that you guys can follow through. And if you can't do that one either, just vibe or stretch into something that you are comfortable with. And when you see something similar or familiar, you jump right back in, okay? Make sure that you vibe responsibly and have fun. And space, grace, and pace so that you can go, grow, and glow through these activities, okay? Back to self, back to being aligned and in one, all right? All right, chimmies, we're here in Wellness Reset Wednesday, and we're ready to stretch it out and make sure that we realign our bodies to back to self. Here I am, sounding like Yoda. Back to self, and making sure that we are coming in gently but strong, okay, with a little bit of strength within the middle of the week, okay? We're coming on through. We're making sure that we're still keeping those vibrations high, but we're doing it gently, okay? Because yesterday we danced it out very low intentional, okay? Low in intensity wise, not intentional, high in intentions. But in intensity wise, we were very low so that we wouldn't over exert our body, being that we were coming across the week, okay? And tomorrow we're gonna come in with those high intensity vibes, okay? So coming on in, we're gonna do some breathing, we're grounding. And then bring yourself up. You're gonna feel some circulation. You're gonna bring yourself into a grounded position. Just go gently as if you're getting ready to walk to the water. All right, we're gonna stand tall. Breathe it in as if you're in front of the beach. And then gently turn those hands. And make sure that we are bringing in those hands nice and gently, palms downward, okay? Inhale deeply. And you're going to repeat the affirmation, I am enough, even when I rest. All right, you got to give your body rest. Please. And we're going to slowly stop and give ourselves some neck rolls. Just release those hands as you're coming in. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. You're now stretching on a porch, on a gazebo, in a garage, watching the rain just pour. You're underneath a little canopy. Somewhere, just enjoying the rain and releasing. And go the other way, slowly. And slowly come into it. Remember, chin to chest. Hold for 5 seconds. Just leave those shoulders nicely relaxed. And then we're going to bring it up and twist it out. Manifesting a nice beach line. Stretching outside next to the water. And slowly turn and just hold it there. And bring it back to the other side. Slowly turn. and bring it back to center. Hold it there as if you're standing in front of the water, chimmies. And we're going to bring the head down slowly. Make sure that you're stretching that neck, okay? We're going to bring those hands up. And let gravity do its magic. And just let it flow. And as you're coming up from this position, you're going to affirm, I can release what is not mine to carry. And you're just going to shift it off like if you're just dusting or bringing it off your shoulder and just releasing through it and holding there, chimmies. Bring that arm up and hold it there. Opening up that tricep, loosening it up. Release. Remember, when resetting, breathe through it. And bring it up. Ooh. Ooh, and then a nice little snap right there, chins. And then release, cherries. You're gonna bring those arms to the back and hold. Cuff, okay? Push that heart chakra out. Then bring it down. Shoulders relax as you're bringing it down. Hold it there. We're gonna go to the wall. Do an assisted wall stretch. Remember, Chimmy, step into it. And when you step into it, you're gonna bring your body in and just let it flow. It's helping to stretch out that shoulder and shoulder blade. You're next to a rock, next to the shoreline. Stretching it out. And then bring it back in. And push out. And release. We're going to bring the leg back in. And turn it around. Okay? Make sure that you find your sweet spot, okay? Again, step into it. Hold it there. And then bring it in. Step out. Bring that hand in. And step back in, shimmies. And as you're coming in, your affirmation is, I love myself and teach. Hold on, guys. Hold on. My love for myself. I'm sorry. I was getting two affirmations mixed up. My love for myself teaches others how to love me and treat me, right? So that's an example. You're setting that example for others. My love for myself teaches others how to love me, how to treat me. Bring it down into lotus mode. Bringing it down. Sitting in front of that shoreline. 10 seconds. Slowly. And we're going to bring the arm over and hold. Bring it in. Extend. And bring the other hand across and hold it there. Hello, Jimmy's. Hello. How are you feeling? And affirm. I thank my body for carrying me. And release. I thank my body for carrying me. Bring it in. We're going to bring it side to side and just hold. Bring it around. Remember, flow with it. And bring it around. Yes, shimmies. We're going to give a tummy stretch. Bring it up. And hold. Push that tummy out. And bring it downward slowly. Bring it down. And arm circles. And breathe. Ooh, nice little pop here and there. Right? Might feel it. Ooh, another one. Let all that stress just release off of those shoulders. Nicely and gently. And then bring it down and around. Slowly. Sitting in front of your house, next to the window, hearing those sounds. Nicely and gently. And go into breathing flies again. Yes. And one more time. But bring it up into a tummy stretch. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, shimmies. Feeling nice. Feeling that gentleness coming and flowing. The affirmation. I take up space with love. Yes, you do, Jimmy. Yes, you do. Take up that space. Take it up with love and leave your love there. And whoever, listen, whoever shines with it, shines with it. And those who don't, okay, it's not for them. And need to go and do their own self-work. You're doing the work, okay, Jimmy? So, yes, take up that space with that love, all right? All right, guys, we're going into cat cow rolls, downward dogs, a pea in Sweden. You guys know that that's the squat. And then we're going to go into a pigeon left and right, cobra, and then wide leg stretch. All right, so cat cow roll, bringing it in and bring it up. We're going to do the up down ones since we did the rolly ones on Monday. Hold it there. Like a cat, like a cow. Hold it there. And once again. Breathe through it, Jimmy, and bring it down. And back to center. Make sure that you guys are well positioned. Remember, going into a downward dog. Bring it up and hold. If you guys need to adjust, go right ahead, but make sure those heels end up on the floor, okay, Jimmy? Let that lower spine, let those muscles just release that tension, those hamstrings. Let it roll off your shoulders, off that back. Hold it there. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Going into a squat and bring it in. Spider-Man mode. Bring it in into a penis Sweden. Alright, Jerry's guys. Go flow into it. You gotta set yourself down first and then go into this position. That is fine. So if you guys want me to show you, if you're going from there and you can't go from that smooth transition, just bring it down. Okay? And then bring the leg up. And then just bring it over. Okay? For those of you who swayed with me, just keep it there, guys. Keep that position. We're holding it there. Releasing is one of my favorites to do. Hold it there, Jimmy. Letting it out from that sacral and solar plexus. Rooting. Just sitting down in your porch, in front of your window, in your garage, wherever. Listening to this rain. Channel the rain as if it's the conduit. Remember, I told you guys you can use water as a conduit to help you flow all those feelings out. Use it. You are water. You flow. Right? You flow. Hold that elbow up and just bring up that arm. Hold it up. Twist up. Take a sneak peek if you are closing your eyes and you need to see what we're doing. And then bring it into position. Okay, hold it there. And then bring it back down. Just making sure that we are channeling and energizing. Alright, bring it back into center. And then repeat to the other side. Hold it there, Jimmy. Feel it opening, feel it releasing. You're going to feel an intensity. Bring it back down. Yes, that intensity is supposed to be felt, especially in the somatic sacral area. That is your trauma, your energy, your negativity releasing from self. Just let it flow. Breathe through it. I know. Because sometimes, even for me, it's a little intense. All right, just hold it there, Cherry. Yes. with flow and grace through it, baby. Cherry, I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we're gonna just release and sit into it and direct our legs. Go over and just go into that pigeon stretch. Now, you guys, if you guys need the modification, you're gonna leave it just slightly bent, okay? Still do that position and just modify your forward positions and where we're moving, okay? So for those of you in the advanced mode with me as well, again, no shame in wherever you're at. We're stretching, we're releasing. However you stretch that booty and body out, it's gonna get out, Jimmy, okay? But don't worry. Hold it there, cherries. And make sure that you're swinging, making sure you're swinging and pushing all that bullshit out. And bring it in into your sacral and your root chakra and just push it in. Hold it there. You're going to feel that intensity just releasing. I'm telling you guys, you're going to feel so much better. The sacral holds a lot of negativity. Okay, if you wanna continue healing through things, just releasing things that are no longer for you. Push that ish out, okay? Push it out from there. That's where it stores itself. All right? The daily, the very past ones, whatever, it gets stored there. Okay? And then swing it slowly back and then bring it down and hold it there. Helping for those legs to feel good. My body deserves patience and care. That's the affirmation, Chimmies. My body needs patience. It deserves patience and care. Bring it back up, my chimichangas. And then slowly switch it over to the other side. You know, the other side. And again, if you guys are modified version, again, still following through, keeping those legs slightly, okay? You can't keep them that open again. You're going to fan them out, adjust, modify, differentiate. You know, we do that here. But for those of you who are here with me again, remember we are here holding thyself and swinging thy bullshit around. And pushing through and hold. Ooh, feels so good, Jimmy. Yes, it feels good. It does, guys. It really does. It's these stretches that help me continue dancing. And these. I'm doing what the zoo, baby. And releasing, bringing it back and bringing it forward. Holding it there. Yes, Jimmy's, yes. You got this. Sweet release, yes. And bring it back up. And going into a cobra Bring that body in downward into that position. Get into a nice comfortable position. Remember, your hips need to be close to the floor, okay? All right? Bring it in. Yeah, I always gotta do something. Bring it in and push upwards. Hold it there. Ooh, bring that those hips down. Ooh, nice. And hold it there. Make sure that you are relaxed and focused. Just hold it there. We're going to give it a nice little twist to the side. Breathe through it. We're next to the campfire now. We got a bonfire right next to the beach, chippies. Yes. We're just doing this right in front of your fireplace. You know, whether it's the electronic looking one or a real one. No shame in either one because I've had both and I have both. Okay. And they both are bad, so they get some heat, baby, and bring it down. Feel that heat escaping. Ooh, from the lower body. And we're gonna bring it into a wide leg stretch. Bring those legs further apart. Okay. And then just bring it low. And once you find your center, just bring it in and hold it. So your insides of your feet should be facing downward. So when you go back, you can go back into this and then go back up and push yourself up. Okay, so hold it there, chimneys. Bring it up and sit into it. And again, repeat the affirmation. My body deserves patience and care. Yes, it does. Feel that rolling off your body from the back. I know y'all feel it, chimneys. I know y'all feel it, okay? If you're still in that position, stay in that position. We're going to go into a child's pose. All right? Hold it there. If you guys need to get some water, please, by all means, go get some water. All right? And bringing it in into slowly and gently. Remember, keep those heels. Okay, let me bring myself a little bit further. Keep those heels and that glute, those glute, that, okay? Sit them on the heels, the glutes, and just hold, chimneys. And bring it up. And stretch up. Make sure that you're bringing in waterfall. The ocean nearby. On a boat. The waves crashing into one another. Aligning yourself. This This is where you're at, Jimmy. You're here. You're in presence. You're in self. You're with self. Affirm. My boundaries protect my peace. I give myself permission to love me fully. My love for myself teaches others how to treat me. Breathe it in. Get into lotus position. Breathe it in. And affirm. My boundaries protect my peace. I give myself permission to love me fully. My love for myself teaches others how to treat me. Breathe it in, breathe it out, shimmies. Bring those arms up. Feel the wind, feel the crisp air. Envision that harmony, that peace. Bring those hands together, palms together. Push gently as you're bringing that energy closer within. As you're bringing that energy closer within. Hold it there. Make sure that you're coming in. Breathing. All right, shimmies, take a moment, as always, to see how your body is feeling, how your mind is feeling, how your emotions are really being receptive to the sounds, to what we just did, the movement, the flow, and take those extra breaths, that extra water, sit down for an extra few minutes if you need to, okay? And just take that all in, take that calmness, that self-love, and those affirmations you've been giving yourself throughout all of these movements, okay? And you want to make sure that you're continuously doing it. It doesn't stop when we get off here. It's continuous. Whether you're in the shower and using the shower and the water as a conduit, or speaking to yourself those affirmations, whichever ones you can remember. All right, guys, touching base on the quick mindfulness practices again, okay? Power posing, using that mirror as an exercise to speak to yourself. Look at yourself, see your mannerisms, see how your body's responding to that self-love and affirmation as you're talking to yourself, okay? Getting that charisma up, getting that confidence up. You want to make sure that you want to sit with self and really understand and attribute those feelings. As Abraham Hicks says, sitting with 17 seconds. Miss Genevieve Davis says to sit with them for 30 seconds. So whichever vibe you feel, okay? And again, practice this exercise. These are just the quick mindfulness exercise. These are separate from, like, you know, the ones that you do and you sit reflectively, you take your time. These are just like the little quick ones that you see and you do, and you're like, oh, you know what, I need a little bit of boost of affirmation. You could do it very early in the morning when you're waking up and you're doing your skincare routine, you're taking a shower, you're getting yourself ready, or wherever you can fit it in between throughout the day. Those are your mindfulness practices, whether it's 2 to 5 minutes. Again, you're power posing in front of the mirror, you're exercising that power pose, you're speaking, and you're voicing those affirmations, giving yourself that pep talk for 2 to 5 minutes daily. You guys ask me, Z, how do you feel so vibrant? And it's because not only do I pour that love to me when I'm doing my face, or when I'm brushing my teeth, or when I'm in the shower, or when I'm like thinking creatively, when I'm typing and I'm trying to hype myself, but I also, since I do that externally, that gets reciprocated to me through my husband, through my children, through people who I surround myself with. And it's just a beautiful creme de la creme that comes together. So again, if just right now, if it's you pouring that love, pour that extra love even more so, and then come on in over here to get a little bit of extra. You know, I'll sprinkle stuff for you guys. All right, give yourself that pep talk. Jimmy's is, how do I speak to myself in tough moments? So this is times where I sometimes like to go in front of the mirror and be like, Z, you need to get it together. Like, what's going on? That's one of those pep talks. That's also a form of mindfulness. So this is a question that you can sit with self and ask, how do I speak to myself when in tough moments? What do I do? How do I react? Right? So do you speak to yourself negatively? Do you and again, we're human. Sometimes we catch ourselves, but this is why we have to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. And this is a great question you can pose as far as along with the rest of the reflection questions that we've been doing and the prompt check-in modules, right? And then another question is, who in my life models healthy self-love, right? Hey, hi, my name is Z, right? So like I said, if you guys gotta come in and get that extra love, I'm gonna best model it for you as best as I can, because that's what I walk in, that's who I am. I try to give as much love as I can, genuinely, as truthfully as I can. Again, that's what I walk in. Whatever you see here is what you're gonna see in front whenever you meet me. I'm crazy. I tell you all the time. I don't have to change up for nobody, nothing, because at the end of the day, I don't got time for that. My spicy brain is too much. Like, I can't do that. It's just no. No, it's too. I already have enough processing to do, right? So you want to make sure that you are also, again, if you're going to be that example to self, how can and what can and who can you surround? Bring in a noun, right? Bring in a noun. What noun can it affect and be a catalyst or be an example? If that's somebody like a mentor, a coach, you know, or somebody that you connect with very well, and you see that they do give themselves these areas of self-love, and that's a way that you can start. This is why I tell chimmies, if you have people who question you and kind of hate right on you, that's their own self-reflective perspective that they need to do, perception that they need to heal on. Because at the end of the day, they have two choices. They can either leave it alone and be miserable by themselves. They don't really have to be doing what they're doing, or they can choose to heal. They can ask questions, right? How do I get to that self-love? It's usually things like that is just a projection of what they need to feel for themselves. And that's why I don't take things so personally when it comes to a lot of things, because it's like a lot of things don't have shit to do about fuck with me when it comes to things about other people. I just navigate as best as I can. I come up and show up for self and those around me, and show up for others as best and genuinely as I can, as I know how I can be. And that's what you work with. And when you work and radiate yourself within through that energy and that light, nobody can take that away from you. As much as they want to, they can't. And that's why you have, like people like your favorite creators sometimes that have that ability to have that self-confidence. And don't get me wrong, there are days where I'll be like, damn man, I want to just but those are the days that I gotta check myself and reflect, right? So those are the modules you want to sit with. Like, how do I speak to myself in tough moments, and who in my life models healthy self-love? And again, if that's somebody that you gotta seek out, not for validation, it's for an example, right? A model. That's the difference. You're not seeking out for validation, you're seeking a model, an example of a person who can give you those demonstrations and those tools to demonstrate. That's why I do what I do, Jimmy's, because again, whatever I teach here, I work on and walk through it as best as I can daily, and I pour it out as best as I can, and I don't gatekeep, right? So, and again, shimmies, don't feel so hard on yourself if you guys feel like something's not happening, or something doesn't feel like it's shifted. Remember, I've posted something a few times today where it has to do with mind shift, right? Mindset shift. And then I broke it down into their simple, separate words, individual words, because it becomes a total different perspective and perception for that mindset, right? So we go into mindset shift, right? Mindset shift. And then we go into a mind. You mind what you're doing. You set that goal for yourself, and then you shift into that action. You see how that changes, that wordplay just changes itself. And I feel like I got that after we had spoken about yesterday's live, talking about doing the belief system and commanding it, really putting those focal points on really commanding your subconscious into those mindful, positive affirmations. So last night, I was just fixing up some stuff for the thing. My new things came in today, my new molding, so I'm definitely gonna be able to get into some more moldings tomorrow and just do fresh start and everything. So just with that, right, it helps shift just a euphoric, exciting feeling, because it's just those small things, those small bubbles I tell you guys about, right? Those small bubbles, and you grab them and you work and walk through them, and with them, right? And you feel it. And there's just days that you have to rest. Like I tell you guys, at times, Jimmy's, if you need to rest, rest. So again, it's just those small moments where you carry on that passion, that fire, that little motivation. And then when it's time to do it, start. These things came in late. All day I was like, I really want to start my stuff, but I do want to do it where it's everything in one shot, because I want, it's what it is, what I'm trying to do, right? The project, right? And what I'm doing for my business, right? Um so the universe was like, all right, bet, we're gonna get them here, but it's gonna have to be like close to the end of the day. It's fine. I used the other time, instead of stressing how I would be like, oh my goodness, like I don't have to. I use the other time to do other stuff, to create and fill in spaces, and also have mindfulness and have some time to myself, things like that. You shift where it's like, okay, I can sit down, I can have maybe a few minutes to myself and really sit and be, understanding of where things are. Don't get all panicky because things are. That's that check, right? That's that mindfulness you have to sit in. So remember, Chimmies, don't be so hard on yourself. Mindset shift, okay? But remember, mind, then set, then shift into that action and that internal, collectiveness of self, of wanting to create, to generate, to form, to feel, to heal, all those things. And do it with love. Do it with authenticity. Okay. I today I had so many. Okay, first of all, you guys gotta go follow Matthew Powell. I shared him, I believe, twice on my stories. When I tell you, full on full, like pour cup, boom, 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 hello, saying hello, Jimmy, pour on into that cup, and then it just helps you. And a lot of the stuff that he says, it just confirms a lot of the stuff that I've been doing. And I'm just like, yes, thank you, because I know I'm doing that. So just hearing it, right, it just lets me know, like, this is a message saying that I'm on the right path. It's like, it's not a validation, it's just more so like, okay, yeah, like, that's a bubble, like, hey, I don't have to, like, and it doesn't validate where it's like, okay, now I could just breathe and just like not do anything. Again, it's not validation. It's more so that motivation, that model, right? That self love you pour back into. So those things are very important. And one of the things that he said is, do it messy. Sometimes messy is the best way to do it, but just know that you can catch yourself and organize yourself and get yourself back together. And I love that, because that's how I do things. And I was like, oh my goodness, Matt, this is exactly what I do. Like, thank you. This is literally just the thanks message received. I get it. So it's just those little visual messages that you see. You're like, yeah, you're doing good, girl. Cause like, you've been doing that. So confirmation. And then there was another Chimmy I ended up following today, and he said, take the risk. I shared him as well. Take the risk, take the shot, Jimmy. It's gonna, those 5 seconds of embarrassment is gonna end up being 50 years from now that you didn't do something about it. You might feel cringe in the first 5 seconds, but let me tell you, the first few times that I posted here when I was first starting, yes. But at the end of the day, those who end up gonna vibe with me, they're gonna end up vibe with me. And I said that. I was like, you know what, Z, it's all right. As cringy as it might seem to other people, it might feel an inspiration. And whatever it is, do what you always do. Dance as if no one and everyone is watching. And that's what I basically went and ran with back in 2021. And I'm here now, right? So again, take that risk. Take that risk, whether it's small, sit on it. Again, Be beautiful, be messy. You are a beautiful mess within inside that's just looking for a stability and solid grounding and foundation within self. And it's a balance and organization, but it's just the organization that you only get. I get it, Chinny. I get it. It's an organization that you only get. You just need the tools to get there. And I get it. And that's why I'm here for you. So all I'm saying is just make sure. All I'm saying is just make sure you do the work for self, okay, Timmies? Don't dismiss yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Really be yourself's advocate, okay? Only you can be the change, right? Thank you, Chimmies, for being here. I appreciate you guys literally sticking around and just taking in all this beautiful vibration and frequency and, messages, whatever resonate with you, resources, information, and I hope the session has brought you comfort, peace, and happy vibes, an elation, a sense of euphoric balance and alignment. We're in the middle of the week, so we had to reset our bodies to kind of just reset and recharge so that we can continue. All right. And of course, don't forget to catch my replay. So you guys, if you feel like you missed something or you want to take notes on something, you guys can catch my replays at the links above on my TikTok page. Okay. And of course, if today hit different, leave your experiences and your frequencies and your vibes in the comments and anywhere that you're connected with me below. All right. Remember to take your mindfulness, listen to that body, drink that water, and of course, walk in your safe space, grace, and pace so that you can go, grow, and glow into and back to self. All right. I love you, Chimmies. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, much love, much healing, much harmony, and much peace to you and dancing vibes. Until next time, Chimmies, I love you.